Hello and welcome. Now, every year, the India Today magazine puts out the Power List, which chronicles people from all walks of life, the high and mighty of India, men and women who influence our lives in ways beyond the immediate. Now, this list includes corporate giants, bankers, tech stars, cultural icons, private citizens and public intellectuals. What we're going to do here is that over the course of the next half hour, we reveal the India Today High and Mighty Power List for the year 2017. We have in the studio with me India Today Group Editorial Director Publishing Raj Chengappa, who along with a very able team have put together this list. Now, hold your breath. Here's the top 15 of the India Today Power List.
At number 15 is Amitabh Bachchan, because he continues to command the screens for his talent. After his national award for Piku, he followed it up with another punchy show in Pink. At 74, advertisers and audiences love him. That's why we call him the gold standard. At number 14 is Sunil Mittal, because he's the telecom czar of India and the chairman of what was still recently India's largest mobile operator with a subscriber base of 270 million. Look out, Jio, because he's looking to give you big competition. At number 13 is Amit Agarwal, because he adopted a policy of lower costs, higher sales and fewer defects at Amazon India. The shopping master is currently selling through Amazon 26% of all goods sold online in India. At number 12 is Nandan Nilekani, because the government has made his brainchild, the Aadhaar card, mandatory for PAN cards and filing of income tax returns. This change agent makes his debut on the Power List this year. At number 11 is Virat Kohli, because his ability to win matches for India is unmatched, making him the most valuable player. The warrior prince of cricket jumps up 18 places in the rankings this year. At number 10 is N. Chandrasekharan, because after the ouster of Cyrus Mistry, he was picked to be the chairman of Tata Sons. He's the first professional executive as well as non-Parsi to head the conglomerate. This chosen one makes his debut on our list. At number 9 is Azim Premji, because he's India's 8th richest man and the most generous one. He donated 27.5 crore rupees in 2016 through his trusts. He's gained one rank from our ranking last year. At number 8 is Dilip Shangvi, because his overseas acquisitions continue even as cross-border M&As are drying up. He's also the second richest man after Mukesh Ambani. Dilip stays firm at number 8, the same as last year. At number 7 is Uday Kotak, because he made Kotak Mahindra the 4th largest private sector bank by acquiring ING Vysya in 2014. He also grew his company's life insurance business over 50% compared to a year ago. He's gained 6 in our ranking this year. At number 6 is Anand Mahindra, because he's India's most articulate and non-controversial businessman. He's revolutionized the SUV segment in India by launching 14 models in 2016. In the plan is development of 4 e-vehicles in sync with the government's alternative energy push. At number 5 is Baba Ramdev, because he presides over the fastest growing FMCG empire in the country. He's one of India's top advertisers and his Patanjali products now reach millions of Indians. This power yogi has gained 4 spots in our ranking from last year. At number 4 is Gautam Adani, because he's one of India's most astute businessmen with an appetite for big risks. He's bullish on India when many private entrepreneurs are shying away, pledging 49,000 crore in investments in Gujarat alone. Adani has slipped 2 ranks from our 2016 ranking. At number 3, up 1 rank from last year, is Kumar Mangalam Birla, because by leading the merger of Idea with Vodafone India, he created the country's largest mobile telephony company. In his 22 years at the top, he has transformed the Aditya Birla Group into a formidable global conglomerate. Inching his way to the top at number 2 is none other than Ratan Tata. It's been the return of the Jedi as the chairman of Tata Trusts came out of retirement to effect a coup. He dramatically ousted Cyrus Mistry and weathered all allegations levelled at him. Mr. Tata gains 2 spots in our rankings this year. And at the top of the charts is Mukesh Ambani, the numero uno, because he's audaciously captured 12% of India's mobile telephony market in less than 6 months through Reliance Jio. He's a visionary who, after becoming the czar of petrochemicals, aspires to be the emperor of data. Mr. Big Business holds his position on our ranking from last year.
Now, for those who know him, Mr. Mukesh Ambani wears his success lightly. It's no coincidence that he has topped the India Today Power List second time running. Well, at the recent India Today conclave, Mr. Ambani was his modest best while reacting to being number 1 on this most coveted list. Listen in.
When you're called the country's most powerful man, you seem to...
I don't take that seriously.
I'm taking it seriously. But I'm going to ask you all the things that you do when you're not the country's most powerful man. What does Mukesh Ambani like to do most when he's not thinking about about the quarterly results of Reliance Industries?
Nowadays, I'm having a great time spending time with my children and, more importantly, friends of my children. So I get to really understand what 25-year-olds think.
What do 25-year-olds think? Tell us. What are the 3 things that you think 25-year-old Indians want the most at the moment?
The first thing is that they are hugely aspirational. Right? For them, nothing is impossible. The second thing that strikes me is, and we used to say it for visionaries, but I see young people in India always wanting to challenge conventional wisdom and saying, they are now looking at finding problems and solving problems rather than complaining, which is a big change from my generation. And the third thing is all of them, and fortunately my children have friends across many strata of society, across many professions. Right? But one thing uniformly is everybody has a mindset of doing things in the right way and doing things honestly, and are not willing to accept the system. कि ऐसा ही है तो चलता है, right? They want to do what is right, which I think is very good news for India.
So if Mukesh Ambani was 25 years old all over again, what would Mukesh Ambani do? Would you still go and handle Dhirubhai Ambani's plants in Patal Ganga or in Jamnagar, or would you do something else at 25?
I think if I had the same infectious enthusiasm that this generation has, right? Reliance would be 10 times bigger.
Reliance would be 10 times bigger, you are saying? If you were 20...
If I had the same enthusiasm and the infection that I see in the 25-year-olds that I meet, and they're not even restricted to my children and their friends, but the 25-year-olds that I see at Reliance, right? And I think that's the new India that everybody is talking about.
When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Look at the Jio app and how many viewers you have on Jio now? Do you find out from your office, or what do you do? What's the first thing?
With my age and with Neeta's influence, like, the first thing I do is pray. So, and that's universal. So fundamentally, all, and for that matter, all generations in our family pray. And that's one thing that's not changed.
Just a couple of quick snap questions. How do you relax? How do you feel? I know you said 25. How do you feel? What is your hobby, your favorite hobby? When you're not thinking about, as I said, quarterly results, your favorite hobby?
I really don't think that much about quarterly results and all the other stuff. I have always believed that you got to try your best and leave everything else to everybody else, right? So in that sense, I'm not that hyper. But in terms of, I like to read a lot. So I am a voracious reader. And now with the visual media, I watch a lot.
You watch a lot?
Of and that keeps my mind occupied and focused.
What do you enjoy reading?
I read everything in terms of, right, and now I'm more into spiritual reading in terms of all the Vedantas, and of course I do a lot of my science and technology reading, and anybody that anything that anybody gives me.
You enjoy going out to wildlife sanctuaries, isn't that true? You like the peace and quiet of the wildlife.
I love nature as is, and if ideally I would like to take 7-10 days off completely unconnected in nature, and I try and do that once.
Your favorite spot in Mumbai?
From a restaurant point of view, still Mysore Cafe, where I did chemical engineering. That's where I ate for 4 years, and from 75 to 79, and I still continue right until 27.
So you still order idlis and dosas from Mysore Cafe?
I still order idlis and dosas from Mysore Cafe and go there once a week.
Your favorite place to holiday in India or the world?
For me, holidays are more about company than places. So my favorite people, and we have diverse, we always argue about this in our family, but it's more about what we do, the company we keep, and and the things we do together. That's more important.
Final question: if Mukesh Ambani was not heading Reliance Industries, what would you like to do? What would your favorite other profession have been?
I always wanted to be a teacher, and I until my father got me back, right, I wanted to really teach.
Really?
And now I'm doing it vicariously because Neeta is a teacher, and hopefully between the two of us, we'll do something in education in the coming years.
Mukesh Ambani, thank you very much for talking to us.
Well, now the fact that the India Today Power List is one of the most prestigious benchmarks of gauging success, well, that's been proven over the years. But what really goes into the making of it? Who better than Mr. Raj Chengappa to tell us that? Well, Mr. Chengappa, if you can tell our viewers, and there are many people extremely interested in knowing how do you put this list together? What does it take to be on this power list?
Preeti, it's quite a complicated process. We lose a lot of friends in this because as the rankings keep changing, people come back and say, why have I dropped, or why have you not included me? And the process begins by getting our correspondents and our team to put together a list of all the people that we think could figure in it. Of course, we have last year's list, which we sift through, plus we collect a whole lot of new names, and this takes about 2 months. And then we go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and there are certain criteria which is very difficult to pin down, but we say it's not just about power.
All right, many people would want to know, and it's just the first thing, does lobbying help? You say a lot of people call you up, ask, why didn't I make it? Or, there's an entire lobby in place trying to get themselves on this power list. Does it help, or it's purely on the basis of and what you see and what the benchmarks are?
Well, certainly there's not lobbying, but we get a lot of flack after that. But in terms of the way we do it is that, as I was mentioning, it's just not about power. It's just not how much money you have. You could be the richest Indian and still not figure in our list if you haven't done anything significant. It's not just about the influence that you have. It's not about, say, how popular you are. I think power in our terms defines itself in your ability to make the difference with what you have. I think that's the key in a lot of things. So it could be the courage of a new idea, for instance.
Right. And that explains why Mr. Ambani repeated twice this year.
Correct, yeah. I mean, here is he is the richest Indian, so he could easily as well qualify. But why do we make him number one? Because he comes up with a disruptive technology. And he comes up with a disruptive movement, which is he launches Geo, invests a phenomenal amount, and makes the difference. And in doing that, he puts all competition on the back foot, and they have to react to him. So he's not just having all that money, but he's also wielding it in a vastly different manner that makes the difference. And it's relevant. Right. He's at the cutting edge of a lot of things. And that's why he's number one this time. All
right, very quickly. So who are the new bees, if I could say, in this list? And what's so unique about the list in 2017, which we haven't seen before?
Well, I think for the first time we have something like 17 new entrants across, not just the high and mighty in terms of the general list, but also in the political list that's there. I think that's the difference. The second thing I think that we've noticed is that this is the year of disruption.
Right.
We've seen Brexit, we've seen Trump, and we've seen a whole lot, including in India, demonetization has happened. What we are seeing is all those people that are able to react and come ahead of this is what figures in this list. And you'll find a lot of new people doing that. They could be businessmen. Actually, our list is dominated quite largely by businessmen because of the change that happened. But they could as well be sportsmen, they could be actors, there could be others. But I think the larger point, that the difference we see this year is in terms of a lot of young people are coming in as well. Though the average age of the power,
is getting younger.
Yeah, I would still say it's between, say, 50 to 70. But I think you are seeing guys like 35 coming in, the Bansals who are coming in. Then you've seen the new players, the new startups that are there, the Uber guys and, the Amazon people. So you can see those that are wielding power in a different way. So you're getting a much younger lot. You're seeing people, because life is so disruptive these days, politics is disruptive, economics is disruptive, you're seeing a lot of change in that, and the power list reflects those who are able to come on top of that.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into a quick break, and what Mr. Chingappa can do for us, and we request you to do that. Hold up this magazine, which is going to be hitting out the stands very soon. So get your own copy. We go into a break.
The fist with the power.
Right. Well, what we're going to do now is put out the top politicians from our power list. Well, there's little doubt that our politicians derive their authority from the position they hold. But is that the only sole criteria of their power? Coming up, the power listers who have the ability to make difference to the world.
At number 10 is Rahul Gandhi, because despite his party losing successive elections since 2014, there is no threat to his position and authority. He's also the de facto chief of the Grand Old Party and a possible pivot of an anti-BJP alliance. At number 9 is Chinnamma, because she successfully made the transition from close aide of former AIA-DMK Supremo to inheritor of her legacy. She holds the remote control and makes her debut on the India Today power list. At number 8 is Nitin Gadkari, because the key minister in Prime Minister Modi's cabinet has ensured construction of 23 kilometers of highway a day and wants to raise it to 40 kilometers a day. Indian banks also thank him for bringing down the quantum of non-performing assets. At number 7 is Nitish Kumar, because he is the most acceptable leader of any probable coalition against the BJP juggernaut. He takes his own decisions and stands by his convictions. He's the power partner who everyone respects. At number 6 debuts Mamata Banerjee, because Didi, despite facing a grand alliance of the left in Congress, despite having the Election Commission breathing down her neck, despite scams stumbling out of her closet, and despite a flyover collapse in the middle of elections, won the assembly polls with a landslide. At number 5 debuts Yogi Adityanath, the man chosen to rule Uttar Pradesh by Prime Minister Modi, because he's emerged as the strongest Hindutva icon of recent times. Many compare him to the Prime Minister in his initial avatar as Gujarat Chief Minister and predict could even rise to be heir apparent to Modi. At number 4 is Arun Jaitley, because he's the ultimate troubleshooter for the government. He's the man responsible for the growth of the Indian economy, with a GDP growth projection of 7.2%. The point man retains his rank from last year. At number 3 is Mohan Bhagwat, because he heads the RSS, the ideological force behind the BJP. He is the man whose opinion is asked for whenever the union government takes a policy decision, and many mantris maintain a hotline to him. At number 2 in pole position is Amit Shah, because he's behind the BJP's massive victory in Uttar Pradesh. With this victory, the Prime Minister's most trusted lieutenant demolished the idea that elections in India are won only on caste and religion. And at number 1 is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who maintains his position. He's top of the list because he's currently the unchallenged leader of India, has ensured a stunning victory in Uttar Pradesh and has a towering personality that ensures massive public support. From the surgical strike in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to demonetization, the Prime Minister has shown that he's not afraid to take a call. We congratulate him on being number 1.
Well, practically the whole world is their stage. From the Silicon Valley to the boardrooms of Wall Street, overseas Indians have defied all stereotypes and come of age. Here's a ranking of the top 3 overseas Indians.
At number 3 in the list is Nikki Haley, because she's now the face of the Trump administration to the world. She has the unenviable task of reassuring 200+ countries that he won't be a disaster. She's a trump card for India and will also play a key role in shaping India's relations with Trump's America. At number 2 is Satya Nadella, because Microsoft stock is now trading at the highest level since the year 2000, and he has accomplished mission impossible despite every naysayer. He's made Microsoft cool again after a lost decade. And at number 1 is the futurist Sundar Pichai, because he's become the highest paid CEO in the US last year with a net worth of $1 billion. He's taken a public stand against US President Trump's immigration ban when silence could have been a safer option.
Now, all you have to do is, for the full India Today High and Mighty Power List 2017, get yourself a copy of the magazine, which is out on the stands now. Get it.